Mr. Metununu. My Lord, I was misled by your calling me, you know. Mr. Nunu, please turn your camera on.
Everything is on.
Now, Mr. Nunu, I'm putting it to you that the matter you said you were going to inform the petitioner in respect of was a matter that you could have discussed with him on the phone, especially at the critical time of collation at the National Collation Center. I'm putting it to you.
Is it a statement or a question?
I'm putting it to you.
That is not correct.
I'm furthermore putting it to you that you had a working phone with you at the time.
The question again.
I'm putting it to you that you had a functioning phone with you at the time you were leaving the National Collation Center.
You said worked with me.
A functioning mobile phone.
Yes, I had an iPhone that was functioning.
Yes. And indeed, it was the same phone that you allege you used in an attempt to reach the EC chair.
At various times, yes. In some instances, I got her, and at other times, her phone was off.
Now, I'm putting it to you that nowhere in your witness statement do you demonstrate with numbers how your alleged errors in the figures impacted in any material way the final outcome of the 2020 presidential elections. Nowhere.
My Lord, it's not a matter of figures. It's not a matter of figures being put in my witness statement. It has more to do with a trend of anomalies, several anomalies. And we were seeking a forum for a proper presentation of those issues.
Okay.
We were seeking a forum for the proper presentation of those issues.
Well,
For example,
well said.
Can I give an example?
You can't give examples here. Now,
For an example,
now I'm referring.
Respectfully, why can he not give an example?
Because I'm referring to his witness
explain his
statement.
answer. He's cross-examining. The witness is saying, I want to give an example to explain my answer. Why is that disallowed?
Mr. Metununu, you can go ahead with your examples.
my Lord, for example, The Eastern Region 2 summary sheets that were presented, the total number of valid votes as recorded on those 2 sheets was the same. But in one of them, Nanado had much higher figures being attributed to him. The petitioner's votes were reduced, and similarly, all the other presidential candidates also had their figures reduced. But the totals of that second summary sheet was the same. That was the specific fraud. That was the specific manipulation. That was the specific anomalies that we're referring to. How is it possible that the same regional office can submit 2 separate results? On the face of it, the total vote cast is the same, but then the vote attributed to each of the candidates was taken. And in one of them, our candidate was not present to sign or to vet or verify. And then you are tendering both of them. Which of them is the original and which of them is the genuine result? Which of them? In another instance, you have a whole constituency, the results not recorded, and yet the summary sheet has been submitted by the EC regional representative of the returning officer. And if I sign that in error, and I come back and tell you that I have observed that that is in error, why can you not address it? Because the regional summary must have 100% of all the constituencies' results as tabulated, and not that you have one omitted. It cannot stand as a summary. And in the same instance of examples, I observed several of those summary sheets having errors in
as to affect the outcome of the elections. That's the point I'm making. I'm putting it to you.
My Lord, the question is muffled.
Have you not given
the
it?
question is muffled by, I can't hear the question properly.
I'm saying, putting it to you, that you have not presented to this court the details of the figures that have a material effect on the overall outcome of the 2020 presidential elections. That's what I'm putting to you. And it's on the
My Lords,
of the record.
My Lords, I have alluded to anomalies that, if tabulated, would add up to the figures. I have raised in my statement of 32 points that in specific anomalies that I noted, this was the case. How is it that that does not refer to figures? I may not have given you specific figures, but I've given you instances in Ashanti, in Eastern Region, in Bono East, in Northern Region, in Greater Accra. In Eastern Region, where these things have been seen and noted, it's a reference to the mathematical infractions. It's a reference. And if the court was please, you've asked the question. The candidates you represent, they benefited hugely from these anomalies that I'm referring to, benefited, and that resulted in the board result that was declared.
See, I don't know. The whole cross-examination is on. I put it to you. Now, I'm wondering whether that's all that lawyers do in a courtroom. I put it to you.
My Lord.
Because this is cross-examination.
Yes, my Lord.
And what I'm expecting is witness control.
Yes, my Lord.
And because there's no witness control, that's why the witness is going on a tangent. And I don't know how many more I put it to use you have before we close this.
My Lords, the record of his evidence is before the court. If I put it to
from these anomalies that I'm referring to benefited, and that resulted in the board result that was declared.
See, I don't know. The whole your cross-examination is on I put it to you, I put it to you, I put it to you. I'm wondering whether that's all that lawyers do in a courtroom. I put it to you, I put it to you, I put it to you.
My Lord.
Because this is cross-examination.
Yes, my Lord.
And what I'm expecting is witness control.
Yes, my Lord.
And because there's no witness control, that's why the witness is going on a tangent. And I don't know how many more I put it to use you have before we close this.
My Lord, the record of his evidence is before the court. If I put it to you, see, Mr. Metanunu, the first witness of the petitioner appeared before this court and admitted to the correctness of the second summary sheet for Eastern Region.
My Lord, that is not an accurate account of that first witness's cross-examination. In any case, that witness
for address, please.
No. Mr. Metanunu, I am saying that you should take a look at the two summary sheets from Eastern Region.
Which summary sheet are you referring to?
The Eastern Region summary sheets.
You must refer to a specific time of transmission, because that will tell me which one. Is it the summary sheet? Is it the summary sheet
Please listen to the
that was collated at 9:39 a.m.? Is that the summary sheet of 9:39 a.m.?
Mr. Metanunu, you said there
Yes,
were
my
two
Lord.
summary sheets from the Eastern Region. The lawyer is asking you a
Yes.
very simple question. He says, look at the two summary sheets from Eastern Region. You look at it, and maybe the question will follow. You don't go off like we are going. You not even finish today the way you want to over-elaborate on some of these simple matters. He said, just look at the two summary sheets from Eastern Region. Then you leave him to follow up with his question. That is all. If it is not before you,
Very well.
If it is before you,
Very well, my lord. Very well, my lord.
Now, you will notice that in the first summary sheet, which you signed, you have as the total valid votes 1,196,751 as the total valid votes.
That is not what I have in front of me. The total valid votes here is 1,236,940.
So just pay attention. You see, on the second but last column, you'll see 1,196,751. Done okay.
I am not sure I am seeing what you are talking about.
I'm talking about the second but last column of the columns on that summary sheet. Second but last column.
My lord, I cannot see the specific reference to which you are. I cannot see it.
Where you have total valid votes. Second but last column. Where you have total valid
And
votes.
also, I think it will help all of us if we know exactly what document is being referred to, because I think we really
Yes.
And if we...
Witness may see where we are going.
Two are attached to Mr. Sejun Petition's witness statement.
He may not have.
Yes.
But there are two different times.
Yes.
So mention which one you are referring to. So the witness will know.
I'm referring to my Lord, it's not this 8:56 a.m. p.m. Sorry, it's 8:56 p.m. on the 8th of December.
The documents, yes, they're referring to Asidu. This is in reference to Asidu Nkitia's witness statement. And in reference to that witness statement, to the extent that it relates to Eastern region, I do not see the 8-something p.m. Yeah.
Mr. Akutampa. One.
Yeah, exactly.
9:39.
Exactly. Exactly. That is what we also have.
Yeah.
My learned friend has it. I'm sorry. Yes, but I'm saying apparently he has a different one because he's quoting from a document which he says showed up at 8-something.
No.
That's what he said.
My Lord,
Maybe he can show us the 8 p.m. one so that we see whether it fits with anything that we have.
my Lord, that's the first document.
Mr. Akutampa,
Yes, my lady.
Mr. Sidun Petition tended to
Yes.
headed Eastern region. Both were signed by the Regional Coalition Officer Faith Amejake. Is that what you have?
Yes, my Lord, there is the one with the blue stamp.
That's 9:39.
That's the 931.
Yeah.
9:39.
Yes.
A.M.
And then there's an earlier one.
No, we don't have an earlier one. We have a later one, which is 6:40 p.m.
The 8th on it is the date.
Yes.
8/12/2020 is a date.
Yes. Which is 6:40 a.m.
Yes.
40 p.m.
It's
p.m. p.m.
Put on your spectacles, Mr. Akutampa.
Oh. My lady, I think that
I was only teasing. It's 6:40
Something
p.m.
different from what we are speaking to.
no, my Lord, we do not. Now, our point is, if one were to add yes, my Lord, if one were to add all the figures attributed to the different candidates, on the one with the blue mark Yes. Which does not have your signature. You arrive at 1,236,440. 940, sorry. Is that correct? Is that correct? Yes. But my lords, because there is an error of addition when you go through the...
My lords, that is correct.
Yes.
You will get 1,236,940.
Very well. Now, if you take the summary sheet that you signed and you do the addition of the actual figures, you will see that it is less 40,189 of the 1,236,940. In other words, if you add all the figures, the votes that the candidates obtain, you will get a total which is less of 1,236,940.
I think you're overloading your question. You should break it down.
Okay. So I'm putting it to you that if you add all the figures on the sheet that you signed, you get a total of 1,196,751. That's the actual total you get.
My lords, if I may.
Go ahead.
If you look at the totals without looking at the attributed figures to each candidate, you'll be making a big mistake.
Asking you the figure that you get. Please, when you respond to it, then you can give your commentary.
That is correct. That is correct. Can I go on now with the explanation?
Hold on. So
on the 9:39 a.m. figure, you find that they gave to Nana Addo 752,061, and on another sheet he gets 729,146. But the total number of votes cast is the same. The total number of votes cast in the two documents in contention are the same.
So just take your time. So I'm saying
The number of votes cast is the same.
yes, hold on. I'm saying that the difference between the 1,196,751 and the 1,236,940 is 40,189. That's the difference.
That is the case.
Yes. And that figure of votes is exactly the total valid votes cast in an Asenswanu Ahinsiano.
Mr. Akutuamba.
Yes.
You did this with the Mr. Asedu Nketia.
Yes.
So what are you trying to do now? Get something different, or
No.
to collaborate him, or what?
My Lord, that's why I put it to him that this was, as Asedu Nketia actually admitted that there was an error. Very well. Very well.
It's not the admission.
Yes, and to add up, Mr. Asedu Nketia, it was he who attached these documents to his witness statement.
Yes.
You have cross-examined him on it. He has admitted the difference. Mr. Metunono has not attached any such thing to his witness statement.
Right.
Why do you cross-examine him on somebody else's documents?
No, my Lord, he referred to it in his response. That's why. No. So, you see, I am suggesting to you that nowhere in your witness statement do you show how your alleged lack of transparency and consultation had an impact on the final outcome of the elections. You have not shown it.
My Lord, that is correct. But I made an aversion that there were anomalies, that there were serious anomalies.
My Lord, that will be all for the witness.
No re-examination, my Lord.
There will be some few questions from the bench.
Good. Mr. Rojo Metunono, you have admitted in this court that you left at a point in time to go and see the petitioner. Is that so?
That is correct, my Lord.
You have also admitted that you signed most of the summary sheets, the original summary sheets, 13 of them, out of 16.
That is correct.
Good. Now, did you sign these summary sheets before you left to see the petitioner?
Yes, I did sign the 13th before going to see the petitioner.
Okay, thank you.
Can the witness be discharged, Your Lordships?
By court, PW3 is discharged as a witness.
Most grateful. That is the end of our case.
Okay. By court, the case for the petitioner is closed. Yes. Yes, Mr. Aminuvo.
My Lord, with respect, it's our submission that in view of the evidence led by the witnesses of the petitioner,
And our cross-examination so far, speaking for the first respondent, I'm of the view that there is sufficient evidence before the court for this petition to be determined. And therefore, my lords, yes, my lord, I was saying that giving the evidence of the petitioner's witnesses and the cross-examination so far, of those witnesses, my lords, speaking for the first respondent. Yes, my lords, it is the first respondent's case that we do not wish to lead any further evidence, and therefore we are praying that this matter proceeds under Order 36, Rule 4.3 and CI 87 Rule 3E5, and we hereby on that basis close our case. That is so.
Mr. Menuvo,
yes, my lord.
What then happens to your witness statement?
Well, my lords, under CI...
You file a witness statement?
Yes, my lords.
And the witness statement is supposed to be subjected, it's going to stand as your evidence in chief.
Yes, my lords.
And therefore, it's supposed to be subjected to cross-examination.
Yes. My lords, under CI 87 Rule 3E5, where if a party who has served a witness statement does not call the witness to give evidence at the trial or put a witness statement in as hearsay evidence, any other party may put that witness statement in as hearsay evidence. So, my lords, we are saying that we are not calling any further witness. If the court decides to treat our witness statement as hearsay evidence, well, the court is entitled to, but we are not leading any further evidence. We are not calling evidence.
Did the rules say the court can treat it as hearsay? So any party?
No, the party, a party, not the court,
so
sorry.
Not the court. Yeah.
The other side can treat it as such. Thank you.
My lords, respectfully, we need to understand the nature of what is being put forward clearly.
In a nutshell, it is our submission that giving the evidence from the petitioner to a petitioner's witnesses and the cross-examination so far, speaking for the first respondent, we do not wish to lead any evidence. We submit that we are not calling any evidence and close our case. Then he refers to Order 36.
Order. You refer to Order 36. Yes, sir. Order 36.
My lords, Order 36, Rule 4.3, with your kind permission, if I may read. Where the defendant elects of CI 47, my lords.
Yeah.
Where the defendant elects not to adduce evidence, then whether or not the defendant has in the course of cross-examination of a witness for the plaintiff or otherwise put in a document, the plaintiff may, after the evidence on behalf of the plaintiff has been given, close the plaintiff's case, and the defendant may then state the case for the defendant.
Respectfully, Yes, my Lord, CI 87 on what will happen to the witness statement if you choose not to enter the box, my Lords. Rule 3, that's sub rule 3E sub 5.
The alternative is to have it.
It is our respectful submission that counsel for the first respondent does not have it open to him to take the course that he just proposed to this court. Order 36 Rule 4(3) that he refers to specifically says where the defendant elects not to adduce evidence. In these proceedings, the defendant has put in a witness statement. So, my Lord, I'm sorry.
Yet evidence. It is just a statement.
My Lord, what this provision says, where they elect not to adduce evidence. And what I'm saying is that the election that they made to submit the witness statement to the court is a clear indication that they made an election to the contrary. Because, my lords, in these proceedings, at the point of case management, your lordships basically asked questions from all the parties as regards witnesses being called. And it is at the point of case management where such an election is notified to the court. At that point, they elected to submit a witness statement. Now, that witness statement is not yet in evidence. That is true. But this is referring to an election. The point of election came at the point of the case management. And we are respectfully submitting that this witness cannot run away from cross-examination when they have elected. My Lord, when they have elected, that is the point. They have elected to
the language, please.
Oh, my Lord,
maybe you can
my Lord,
but run away.
My Lord,
it is being
yes.
A telecast, and people may
very well.
interpret it.
I will adopt your words. So if your lordship,
yeah, he is evading.
My lords, I will totally adopt your lordship. I will totally.
Yes, please, let me. You have the opportunity to. Yes.
Yes.
Assuming we were not dealing with witness statements.
I'm sorry.
Assuming we were not dealing with witness statements, and we were giving oral viva voce evidence, when would you say that a party has elected not to give evidence? Assuming we were not using witness statements.
At the case management stage, if the party at the case management, my Lord, at the case management stage, the party may, otherwise the case management stage is meaningless.
No. If a party is called upon to testify, and then he tells the court, I do not intend to testify, that is when we will say that the party is not willing to adduce evidence.
My Lord, respectfully, that is not the situation under the rules as amended to provide for case management.
Order 36 is proceedings at trial. So we have moved into trial stage. Order 36
Yes.
deals with proceedings at trial.
I appreciate that. And the point I'm making is that Order 36 is premised on where the defendant elects not to adduce evidence. So, my lords, what I'm saying respectfully is that in the context, Order CI 47 obviously precedes CI 87. And in the context of CI 87 and the provisions for case management, the case management context is a context in which, for the purpose of a trial, the judge asks the parties how they are going to proceed. That's what I understand case management. Your lordships have had many occasions to point out the significance of the case management process. And my respectful submission is that it is in that case management process where, one, the party gives an indication to the court that I intend to call these witnesses. Now, if the party gives that indication, then respectfully, the party has made an election to adduce evidence. And my lords, that is the basis on which the court made orders at the stage of case management as to when witness statements should be put in. The court made orders on the basis of the election that they had. So,
no, Mr. Giza, point of correction. The orders for witness statements is made at the application for direction stage and not at the case management.
The orders
it's made on the order 32.
Yes,
at the application for direction stage.
But my lord, that is this is
pink sheet to back saying, and to make an argument that when you deal with the lack of signatures, the multiple serial numbers, etc., which are all infractions, and you strike them out, you have to call a proper declaration of the result that Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo is the winner of this election. He came with evidence and made a case. You have been here and you have heard the bench labor asking the petitioner over and over again, where are the numbers?